What's up, nail geeks? I am back with my first Trisha Tries It video. This is going to be a new series that I'm starting. But before we begin, this video is in collaboration with Dossier, and I got a chance to try them out. So before we dive into the Polygel portion of the video, I do want to talk about Dossier and what they have. So I was approached to do a collaboration with them, and I honestly, full disclosure, have been curious about trying them because they do offer affordable perfumes that are inspired by high-end designer brands. So I was super excited to get a chance to review for them, and I really wanted to try them out, honestly. So I did do that, and I'm really excited to talk about real quick what I have found for them. So this is what your orders will look like. They are $39 for any scent in the shop, and they are 50 milliliter bottles. The bottles are very sturdy. They're glass, and they have a really nice magnetic enclosure for the cap. They do have a 20% off welcome offer. Dossier also has a new payment method that lets you earn store credit. So you can select catch at the last step of checkout, and you can earn a $10 sign-on bonus credit. You can get rewarded with 10% store credit on every single order. Just make sure to push catch at that last step of checkout. Orders are also completely risk-free. If you decide to return the scent, they do offer a standard 30-day return period in which you can return your perfume and get a full refund, no questions asked. So I really like that. I personally ordered Aromatic Star Anise, which is inspired by Dior Sauvage, and Powdery Coconut, which is inspired by Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc. And I can safely say I enjoy both scents. Aromatic Star Anise was the one that my hubby picked, and then Powdery Coconut was the one that I'm using. He really is enjoying his cologne. He's wearing it every single day. He says he can smell it all the way throughout his entire workday, which is nice because he works in finance and you gotta smell nice and bougie for that. Both are spot on for their inspirations, and again, fraction of the price. I'm very impressed with it. I'm gonna have the link below in the description box if you want to check out Dossier more and check out their website and any other potential inspirations if you're looking for them. And if you don't see something that you would like to see on there, they're always taking suggestions for future releases and adding new scents to their lineup. So I really like that. They're open for feedback. Now, moving back onto the Polygel portion of the video, I honestly wasn't going to post this. I did this back in August, and I just had this idea in my head after several nail breaks that I wanted to do some falsie nails. And I know I'm not the only one that scrolls through Instagram and you see those little, what I've now realized is called poppets. And they put the little gel underneath there and they cure it, and then they pop the plastic off, and then bam, you have a wonderful, perfect set of nails. Well, I tried it, and I have a lot of opinions on it. I've commented here and there on other videos and whatnot, because now I've got jelly tips now, which that's part 2 to the series. I thoroughly have a very, for lack of better words, negative opinion on this, but I figured this is going to help other people in this little journey of mine to have nails that I don't have to baby anymore, because honestly, having the new baby and stuff, it's just not feasible for me to just baby, for how many times I can say that, baby my nails and not hit them on stuff or whatever. So that's not really feasible for me anymore, but we'll get to that on the jelly tip portion of this series, which will be in the next video. So this is what I'm going to dub a nail fail video, is what it is. But I thought at the end of the day, if you're like me and you were curious on polygel nails, I just have to say it's not easy, at least for me. Like, again, I always say I'm not a nail tech. I am a blogger turned vlogger, I guess. So I don't have any professional nail training. Everything I know is through self-taught methods. I don't think I'll ever be revisiting this again. So I will quit yapping about that. Let's dive right into the actual polygel part, and I'll walk through every step that I did. Okay, so to begin with, this is the actual Amazon kit that I purchased. It came with this really nice full hand LED lamp. I'm really liking this. So if there's anything that I think is worth it in the entire kit, it's this. I like that it can sense when you can put your hand in and out. It's got different time settings on it, and it's pretty big for my big hand. It also comes with the slip solution, a nail strengthener, 3 different colors in the Polygel, clear, light pink, white. It's gold and silver flecks here for some nail art goodies. I might use these later. Striping tape, which I absolutely hate. Nail gems, which are really cute. A bunch of glitters, and maybe I can use these in some nail art later. And some rhinestones, which I will 100% be using one of these days. Very nice. And these adorable iridescent butterflies. Now, these are the actual poppet things. This is what you're going to adhere the polygel to and do your sculpting with. They have a curvy sort with an actual strong curve, and then the regular ones that have a little less curvy thing to them. It also comes with the application brush and the 180 grit file. I really liked the brush. It's metal and it has very sturdy. I really like that it has caps to it, because if you're like me and you have a bunch of brushes and nonsense at your nail station, it is very easy to have your brushes get damaged that way. It also has the paddle portion on the end of it. We also have these flame vinyls and these free forms if you choose not to use the poppets, which I already had a giant roll from Amazon, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. I can probably use them for a sticker book. I don't know. It also comes with the Polygel application guide. This is pretty straightforward in the instructions. The instructions state that you can use the poppets, those plastic things, or you can do them with the sculpting free forms. More on that later, but first I wanted to do the Instagram thing I kept seeing. I wanted to be this awesome, clever thing that was able to figure this out, so that's what I went with first. So I started off with my usual routine for my mani. I'm going in with my cuticle remover. I've done this before on the channel, and I usually use Pro Link, which I get from Sally's, but I'm out of that, and I was in a bit of a hurry, so I picked this one up. This is a aloe something. I got this one at Walmart for $4, so it's working pretty well so far. I don't really care for the size of it, and in fact, because I do this once a week, and I'm gonna blow through this. In fact, I've already got probably a quarter left of that tube, but I'm going in with a shovel tool, and I'm just kind of gently pushing my cuticles back. Nothing crazy here, and then I'm gonna go and wash and dry. I don't want to have any of that stuff left over on my nails. Real quick, I've said it before and I'll say it again, do not clip your cuticles if you're not willing for that commitment. You don't have to do this. It's just, I personally prefer this. So I figured some of you have asked me what it looks like, and I kind of briefly wanted to show you guys what I do. So I use my little rainbow tool here. I think I purchased this one from KB Shimmer. I'm not 100% on that. I think that's where I got this one, but yeah, this is it. So I personally cannot stand watching other people do this on their videos. It icks me out, but I figured, just full disclosure, 100% this is what I do. If you're curious exactly how I get my skin to look the way it looks, but again, do not commit to this. It's very controversial. A lot of people don't agree with it. I personally like it for myself. Now, this was the part I knew, no going back. Look how pretty those nails look, except that break there on that middle finger I couldn't quit. I knew once I cut these bad boys down, there was no going back. And that's what I did. I cut everything on my show pony, my swatch hand, and then I cut everything down on my working hand here. So this is the one, my dominant hand. I am a left-handed person, if you haven't noticed from my swatches. And then I went in and I just filed. I didn't want to completely get rid of a free edge. I wanted something to work with here because at the end of the day, I had the impression that I was going to be able to lightly remove these and not have damage. More on that in a bit. So I'm going in with some alcohol just to clear off any oils or any residue, whatever. Per a lot of the videos, y'all, I watched a ton of videos. Per videos, I went in and just lightly buffed my nails just a little bit to rough them up a little bit so that my polygel will adhere per the instructions. Like, I mean that in a little bit of a condescending way because I'm still salty about this kit. I will not be doing this again. Just throwing that out there. It says to go in with your base coat, which is what I did. So I made a big boo-boo here. This is definitely not what you want to do. You want to have done this before your base coat. Of course, again, this is completely new and first impressions, everything. I didn't want this to be perfect. I wanted it to be imperfect because this is what is going to happen if you're like me and you're not a nail tech and you wanted to try this out for yourself. After I went in and sized the poppets for my nails, I'm using the slip solution. Some of the videos I've seen said do not use the slip solution. It's too slippery, what have you. I guess pun intended there. Use alcohol. But I wanted to use the slip solution first because maybe it was easier for me. I don't know. But anyways, so going in, I wanted to use clear because I really like the look of jelly tips, and honestly I should have just gone with them first. But you're going to need to use your spatula end to the brush. What you'll need to do is take your spatula and just stick it into the poppet like a good sized bead. I've seen a lot of people do this where they're using quite a bit of product, and I do agree with that. You want to use a lot more than what you think you're going to use, and then you're going to wet your brush with the slip solution. Now, I have to agree with a lot of the videos I saw. The slip solution it does have this like slippery, slimy sort of feel to it, and I felt like the Polygel just was not working with it at all. I hated doing this. It was just gross feeling, and it was awful to spread it onto the poppet. Yeah, you can see right there, I'm just struggling with it. I'm trying to get it even. And the one thing I will say about Polygel is it definitely stays where you put it. It's pretty nice to work with in terms of it not sliding all over the place. It's definitely got this nice thick toothpaste-like consistency to it. And regardless, you're going to make your poppet longer than what you think. Now, this is where I was going wrong. You can see here, per the videos, you're going to stick it onto your nail. A lot of people did this, get all the air bubbles out, and then you're going to cure it. So what I found here was that it wasn't sticking to my nail. All these videos I saw, it sticks to your nail and then you can get the excess out because you don't want the Polygel touching your cuticles, your skin. And it wouldn't do that for me. So just full disclosure, looking back on what I could have done differently, I definitely would say load it up more with Polygel. I was definitely making this entirely too thin. So there's no way for me to clean it, no way for me to do anything. And holding this poppet down on my nail is absurd using it on the full hand lamp. So that's definitely not going to happen here. Eventually later on, when I went to the jelly tips, I ended up purchasing one of those little single finger ones, and that worked wonderfully. I think if you're going to do Polygel, it just, my opinion and the way I personally work, I would strongly recommend maybe purchasing outside of a kit, or maybe a kit that came with that little single lamp. You'll see more of that in my episode 2. But again, we are following the kit here, and that's what we're going to do. So I gave up on the slip solution, and now I'm going in with just straight up alcohol, and I am taking off all that excess that went on my skin. You really don't want any of this stuff touching your skin. Here you can see I'm trying it again. At this point, I was under the impression that removing more product was going to be my friend in terms of getting it to stick to me more, but I was so angry at this part. Like, I was so pissed at this point. But looking back, I'm like, girl, you need to put a lot more product on there, like a lot. Don't think that the poppet itself is what is going to give you the shape. It's all of that Polygel that's going to give you the nail shape, the C curve, the apex, all that stuff that you're looking for. I personally thought my nails were just too curved. At this point, I took everything off with alcohol, and then I went in with some more nail sizing because I was really convinced that maybe I needed to go wider. I know I have a wide load nail problem, so I figured let's go wider, and maybe at that point I can just file off any excess. I gave up on using the spatula. I went in with alcohol as my slip solution. I really enjoyed how satisfying it felt moving it around with the alcohol. So I personally would just completely chuck the slip solution. I still am not going in too thick. I needed to add more polygel, but I feel like I might be able to actually get it to work with the poppets in the future, but I am not touching this again. Just letting you guys know, I ended up removing polygel 3 separate times on the weekend that I was working on this, and I just am hard-headed, and I did not realize that polygel is hard gel. That's such a newbie mistake. That's my PSA for this week. It's hard gel, meaning it's not soak off. You need to be able to file it off. Please keep that in mind. Polygel is a hard gel non-soak off. It's a file off. Now here, I actually went ahead and cured it because I thought I could kind of finagle myself. Real talk, I actually took the nail lamp, I propped it up on some boxes, and I kind of made a makeshift single kind of thing there. Now here it is. You can see this is so bad. I was just so angry. You can see my hand there. It's really thin. It needs so much more product. So this was my really stubborn attempt. The first attempt that I did where I actually did all of my swatch hand because I was just so frustrated, and I figured maybe it's one of those cases of you need to top coat it. And what I mean by that is you need to work through the entire process to see what the end result's going to be. So I did that, but it's just so bad. It needs to be thicker. But I'm showing you guys how I kind of figured it out. I did go a touch thicker here, and I was kind of doing the whole spreading it out more so it's not super sticking to your skin at your free edge. So here I cured it, and then I'm literally doing the whole pop it action. I was like, yeah, I can finally be an Instagram influencer. No, not happening. Pretty easy to pop off. You kind of just wiggle it a little bit. I think that middle nail looked pretty decent. Still not good enough for swatching or trying to show off your hand per se. This is just my trial and error, you guys. So I ended up not liking that. And then I got the clever idea to use clips. Now there are actually clips you can use for polygel purposes with the poppets, but I wanted to finish this up that weekend. Don't do this. I thought using a soak off thingy would help. No, didn't work. That's not. And I was seriously about to just pitch my lamps and my setup and just say, I'm done. This is, I was so angry. That was 2 removals, lots of nail damage because halfway through filing, I was like, oh crap, this is hard gel. It just dawned on me. It was like this light bulb moment. I was very impatient and I incorrectly removed them 3 times in that one weekend. So that's what trashed my nails so bad. After removing, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try the pink. We're going to go a little bit of a different route, and I'm going to try the sculpting method. I think I had a bit more decent results, and that's just because I'm used to using those free forms for repairing my breaks in the past when I was swatching a ton. Y'all, I was swatching 40 hours a week. Real talk. That was before I got pregnant with baby last summer. It was bananas, and here we are. That's why I'm trying not to go as crazy for swatching. I'm just trying to do things that I enjoy and keep the channel like that. More organic feeling, in my opinion. I was very reluctant to use the pink because when you do swatch, it's like you're wearing an undie, and that's not going to be very indicative to what you guys are going to see if you don't have pink polygel on. But I was really stubborn, and I figured maybe the pink is because it would work because I could see it versus the clear where you can't really see it. So I watched a couple more videos and I just went in. I did not care. I was just doing my thing and pretending like I was a nail tech. So I have base coat on here. I have the Beetles base coat, and I'm using alcohol for my slip solution. I wanted to make a nice little apex there, meaning like it's like a curve on your nail bed that it kind of goes up a little bit and then it's going to go back down for your free edge. See, baby likes getting nail education too. I do have to credit the channel Nail Career Education. I feel like this was pretty decent for a complete beginner. I watched a couple of her videos. I don't know if I've just been living under a rock because her channel is huge, but she's so patient, so calm, so just got that vibe I really appreciate. I learned the little cute pat method from that, and that's kind of where I got a little more successful. That's where I learned about the apex and all that stuff and how to properly do it. Again, I'm not a pro by no means, and I don't know how to properly do it, but you guys know what I'm saying. So I cured the Polygel and I'm removing the freeform, and you could see right there, I was like, okay, this might just work. I clipped off what I didn't want and I just started filing and buffing. It's a lot of filing. If you think you're done filing, file some more. Also, because I personally prefer thinner sort of nails if I'm wearing extensions. And again, I'll talk more about this in episode 2 when I go over what I'm doing for the jelly tips. I feel like I have much more of a handle on that, but different brands for that have different thicknesses. And I'm finding that I really don't like my nails super thick with the artificial extensions. I like my polish thick, but I don't like my nails thick. So I'm just at this point desperate because I needed to file the crap out of this. I'm using a buffing block. I ended up using that 180 grit, which I'm sure if a nail tech is watching this, you are cringing there in this entire video. And if you've made it this far into the video, kudos to you. I'm sorry. I have full respect for y'all's craft. It's something else. Y'all make it look easy. I'll say that. But it's not. This is not. It's such a beautiful art to attempt and learn. So file, and then I realized I needed to go super ham. So I'm going to try out my little $8 Amazon e-file again, and just to help clean out, I cannot stand sticking stuff underneath my free edge. Like, I cannot handle that. I'm cleaning it up. It's helping me absolutely get it more even, and I was trying to really keep in respect of that nice apex that artificial, especially sculpted nails have, if they're done by a professional, of course. This part, it seems to be most videos agreed on this part, was that once you're done filing, go ahead and massage up your cuticles, get your skin nice and plumped and moisturized, and then I washed and dried. It also helped to get all that dust out from under my hand, on top, all that good stuff. And now I'm going in with my top coat. I think I did okay. Those of you who follow my Instagram, which PS, go follow my Instagram. I'm constantly posting and talking. It's almost like I turned that into my blog, but this is where I got that picture. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video for this first Trisha Tries It series. I'm planning on doing things like nail foils, different types of decals, anything I can pretty much find for nail stuff that I don't normally do. I'd love to do it, just kind of branching out. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it and if this is something you guys want to see more of. So again, I promise episode 2 is coming very soon, and we're going to go over jelly tips. I have 2 different brands to show you guys that I purchased, and we'll go from there. If y'all made it through this entire video, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you enjoyed and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much.